Welcome everybody to this week's episode of the CD Sport Podcast with me, Kerry Davis. Joining us today is ultra runner Hilary Clinton. How are you, Hilary?
I'm all right, thank you. You?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you giving up your time.
Good.
Coming in live from, you're up in the Highlands of Scotland, are you?
I am, yeah. Up in the sunny Highlands.
What part of the Highlands are you up in?
I'm in Granton.
Ah, nice,
Kind of
yeah.
near Abbeymoor.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful part of the world.
right in the mountains.
Lovely. Plenty of running in the mountains and stuff, do you, up there?
Yeah, running, skiing. It's great.
Can you ski up there, can you?
Yeah, a lot of skiing.
Well, like, you actually can ski, like, resort people can go on holidays and ski there, or is it more?
Yeah. We've got Cairngorm Mountain. So, but a lot of people do the Nordic skiing.
Really? I never knew you could ski in the UK. I'll be honest though.
Yeah, it's been great skiing this year.
Yeah.
Just can't get up there because it's all closed with COVID.
No, that's the problem at the minute. We can't do much, can we? But I'd say it's bloody, where are we now? We're in May, and the weather, well, I don't know about you, but the weather's absolutely terrible down in Wales today.
Yeah,
Really
we've got
bad.
snow. They're still skiing at the minute on Cairngorm.
Oh, wow. I say so. We'll get stuck into it then. Back in 2019 it was?
It was, yeah.
You did the Jungle Ultra, which what is a 230-kilometer run through the Amazon rainforest over 5 days.
Yeah, it was great. We can say that now.
I don't know if it sounds fun or not, but it's one of those things that when you're doing it, I bet you it feels like the best thing in the world, is it?
It was emotional. Every day was so different, and it wasn't quite what I expected. It was so much better. It was
So much
great.
better.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Hilary. Like, obviously, that's like a big thing to do, isn't it? Get into a run that big, 230 kilometers in the Amazon. Like, what got you into doing that in the first place?
So I started with a couple of park runs where I used to live down in England, and that was me. I was like 5K, no more, that's enough, I'm done. So I just did a couple of those, and then I moved up here and didn't know anybody. So I joined the local running club, and you get dragged along with it all, don't you? So you do your 5K, and then they say, oh, why don't you come and do like a 10K, or you do that, and you move up to like marathon, and then you start doing the ultras. And I was just meeting such lovely people through the ultras. And when I go on holiday, I like to maybe go and do something like a run of some sort, or just have something when I'm away. And I've been looking at going to Peru, and I thought, oh, I wonder if there's any runs to do while I'm there. And I saw it on Google, and with Beyond the Ultimate, and I just pressed the button. I didn't even think about anything. I just entered, and that was it. Paid the deposit and panicked about it afterwards. So yeah, kind of part run to the thing in 4 years. Took me 4 years. So yeah. And then I panicked, like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm going to be out of depth. Everybody's going to laugh at me. You have all these thoughts going through your head, but it was just great.
When you first told your friends about it, what was their reaction?
So I didn't tell anybody.
Ah.
I don't, because if somebody had said to me, there was a couple of people who knew, but when somebody says to you, they just go, ooh. And as soon as someone goes, ooh, it's like, oh no, they're doubting me. And I can't take that pressure. So I didn't tell anyone. I just told, I think it was 3 people knew. And that was it. And they were the sort of people that would encourage me and help me. They, It's
Were,
kind of
were,
in my little team.
were they part of the running club, the 3 people, or no?
No, didn't tell anyone at the running club.
Yeah.
I found a really brilliant physio, Dave Shirley. So he's like my therapist and bit of a coach. I mean, he's just brilliant. He used to work, I think, with quite a lot of the cycle people,
Yeah.
cycle guys, and so he just knew what to say. He was absolutely great. Obviously, my mum knew. She saw my bank balance when she was doing my accounts. And one of the lads here in Granton knew because he was coming running with me and yeah, putting up with my moaning.
Yeah, right. So it was you did it. You went out on your own then to
Yeah, I went out
Peru?
on
Yeah,
my own,
yeah,
made a real holiday of it, and I just loved Peru. What a great place. Yeah, so I did a bit of the touristy bit and went and did the jungle.
Did also I was going to ask you that. So did you go to Peru on holiday then do the race, or did you get the race done first then holiday?
I got the holiday bit kind of done,
Yeah,
and then I went and did the race, and then came straight home.
straight home after it. Awesome.
Yeah,
So talk us through it. You're on the big bird. You're flying to Peru. Like, are you doubting yourself then when you're on the plane and you're thinking, what am I doing?
I knew I'd done all the training. I knew I couldn't have done any more. And I practiced and practiced, you know, like with my hammock and my food. So that was, I knew I'd got that sorted out. I think the thing that worried me most was being around the same group of people for, I think it worked out about 10 days, because I'm not normally around a big group of people for like that long.
Yeah.
Oh, within a day or so, everybody had just gelled. It was, yeah, it was great, really good. Everyone was so encouraging to each other. BTU guys were great. They've got a really good first aid team, like the doctors and the nurses and stuff that are around all the time. They were so encouraging, just relaxed, everybody. It was, yeah, so they were so professional. I can't sing their praises highly enough.
Did you need to do a medical for entering?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
do a medical, which was quite freaky because you have to go, you know, fill in your forms and everything and get checked at your local doctors.
Yeah.
And I'm lying there and they're doing the ECG on me. And the doctor came out of the room. And I'm like, what's going on? I started to panic and came back and was like, I've got to do it again. It's not reading right, your ECG. I was like, right. So he did it again. And then I get like this form that I've got to go to Regnor Hospital in Inverness because my ECG wasn't reading right. And he never said to me, what are you doing? And I didn't realise that ultra runners' heart rates and things are so much lower.
Yeah.
So he panicked that my heart was going really slow. I had to go and have this big medical and wear a heart rate monitor and everything for like 24 hours and see some specialist. So yeah, it was, yeah.
What's your resting heart rate then? When you're what's your resting heart rate? Do you know?
I don't know at the minute.
No. What was it back then, roughly? Do you remember?
It was just under 4. I think it was about 35, something, 36, something.
Yeah, that's really low. Well, that's low, but that's like really fit, isn't it? That level.
So yeah, so I got packed off to Well, everything was fine, you know, but yeah, at the time I was panicking, like, oh my god, I've paid all these bloody money. Don't say there's something wrong with my heart. You know, I had the ultrasounds and everything. Yeah.
Well, luckily it was all good and you could get stuck into it when you got out there.
Yeah.
So once you're at the start line now, like How does it work, Hilary? Obviously you're camping in the rainforest, aren't you? For 5
Yeah,
days.
you're completely self-sufficient.
Yeah,
So you have to carry like your hammock, all your food, anything you want for that race. It's in your backpack.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so the hammocks, they're actually really comfy. They're actually all right. I got quite used to the hammocks. So you all meet at like the hotel one morning, and you get on all the minibuses and you're going out there. And to be fair, the drive out to the start was the scariest bit.
How,
Peruvian little bus drivers are crazy, and the roads, they're not roads, they're
yeah,
like gravel tracks on hairpin bends. It was, yeah. Oh. So yeah, and then like you camp out in your hammock at like a base camp, and then that morning everything, because you have to go through the check. They check your kit. You've got all the standard kit, like your first aid and everything on you. So you get all that checked, and then your bags go, and you're on the start line, and you're like, oh, it's like all, you know, all going through your mind. What am
nerve-wracking,
I
yeah.
doing? And because the views from the start, you look down onto the Amazon, so the views are just, they really are, wow,
Yeah.
wow. And then the crazy part is you start and you run, I would say maybe 500 meters maybe, and you have to go through this tiny little gate. It's the most random thing. So it's this tiny gate, and that's it, you're in the jungle. It was very surreal.
So
Yeah.
that gate was like the gate to say, right, you're in the Amazon now, was it?
Yeah, it's like a run, like a
Yeah,
decrepit thing that's going to fall down like an old garden gate,
yeah.
and then you just drop down.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But going back a little bit, you said when they had to check your bag and stuff, if you've got the essentials. One of the guests I had on, Caroline Underwood, did the Marathon de Sable, and she
Yeah.
was saying they had to have a minimum of 14,000 calories on them.
Yeah.
Was that the same for you with there?
Yeah, you had to have a minimum calories. I went just over on the calories. I think I'd worked out about, I was on 2,000 a day I was carrying,
Two, four,
but
six, eight.
on the last day, the long day,
Yeah,
I should have had more food because I was begging people for food.
yeah.
People who did the shorter course were giving me like their Snickers bars and things because I was starved.
I bet.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's not much, is it? Like 2,000 calories to do that much running and how much energy you're burning and dealing with the
It's just
heat, how much you're
rapid
sweating.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was fine. It was fine. It was enough for the first 4 days. But
Mm,
like I say, on the fifth day, the long day, I wish I'd packed more.
yeah.
But I was so conscious of like, oh, my backpack's got to be really light.
Yeah.
Um, I was I was a bit silly really. I should have just sucked it up and taken more.
Do you remember the distances each day? Have you got them written down?
No,
No.
because the weather was so bad, it was just
Yeah.
constant like rain, and a lot of the rivers were coming down quite quick. Each day the BTU team had to change the course.
Hmm.
So they employ a lot of local people, and they'll go out in the morning with machetes and make the course.
Ah, right.
But obviously the weather out there changes so quickly, and the downpours horrendous. Um, the guys just worked really quickly, and don't know how they did it. They were amazing, but yeah, they got us through all sorts of rivers, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the distance has changed from what's advertised.
Yeah, right. Because they just got to adapt, like on the day type thing, or within the few days.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some of the river crossings you have to go over like on a zip wire
Mm.
thing, sat on a tyre. There was one quite wide river. You have to get like a little boat. I think I was knelt on planks of wood at one point, getting over one of
Bloody hell.
them. But it's awful. Like, oh God, what's in the water?
Yeah.
Because there are quite little snakes out.
Anacondas and all, well, everything in the Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah, you do see snakes.
Mm.
So, yeah.
What do you have any like close encounters? Are there any? Obviously, you said you saw snakes, but any close encounters? Are there any nasties?
You can smell cats, like the big cats out there, like the pumas and things. You can just smell that they're around. But like I say, because the BTU guys hire local people, there's people kind of hidden away, I think, on the course. So you don't really know they're there. But if something does go wrong, and some, they're there to get you.
Have you heard any horror stories about it?
Jumps out on you or jack you out.
Have you
There
heard?
was one little chap we saw with a machete, and it was like, oh my God, it freaks you out a little bit. Because when you're in the night, you're not thinking, and someone pops out with a machete.
No.
Yeah.
Any horror stories? Like you heard any out there? Like, I don't know, puma bit someone or something?
Not so much horror stories. One of the chaps had to go to the hospital because he got bitten by one of the wild dogs. So obviously with rabies and things, he got taken out. But he got put back on the, back in the race once he'd been sorted.
Yeah.
Because you run through little villages, and I mean they're like really remote straw hut type villages. So there's quite a few wild dogs and things nipping at your ankles.
So like tribal villages in the Amazon, you're running through them?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of that. And you run through, I've got some really nice pictures, like, like the straw huts and things, and like the ladies are washing the belongings in the little river. And I mean, it really is, it's an eye-opener.
I bet, yeah.
You do feel very spoiled when you come home. Definitely.
Even like when I've been around Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Cambodia, and like, that's not in the Amazon or nothing, but you see how people live. And like you said, like how lucky we are in the UK and wherever you are, and Australia, New Zealand, America.
Yeah, just like being able to turn a hot water tap on.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it was quite humbling, and the people out there that you run past, they are just the nicest people. Like they'll hand you an orange or something that they've got.
That's awesome. So I was gonna say, are they like the children waving it, like they're used to seeing runners go through and stuff, are they, and waving to you? And
so one of the camps, I think it was like the third night maybe, you run down into like this little village, and it was crazy. I was running with this chap called Rob, and we'd stopped off to try and pick pineapple. So we passed these pineapples and we were like, yeah, we need this. And all of a sudden these little kids pop out from everywhere, like they're probably about 4.
yeah.
And they are just in like the grass skirts, they've got the beads, they're proper Amazon children. And they just grab you and they're running down the hill with you like this dirty track in bare feet, quicker than you are.
Yeah.
We're in like nice pump trainers, and then they're zooming down. And then you go into like this little village and you stay there overnight in a hammock. And that's a special camp. Yeah, because you get to kind of mingle with the kids and everything, and the people, locals. So yeah.
I was gonna. That was one of my questions actually. Like in the night, did you have the opportunity to stay in like a local village? So on the third night, you did.
Yeah. When I say village,
Like,
It's not like,
no.
it's a few huts, and they have like like a big hall,
Mm.
so you can actually go undercover and eat your food, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't muddy. It was about the one place that wasn't muddy.
And the other nights, then you just literally put your hammock up and then look up, and it's nothing over your head, just trees and stars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's very special.
yeah,
Um, you always know there's a bit of civilization nearby, I think, at certain points. Because you do run through, I can't remember the name of the town, but you run through like a town where there's a big kind of markety thing, and
mm.
that's nice. People cheer you on and things.
No, I
Yeah,
think
a
I've
bit of
seen.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I think I've seen some footage like on YouTube and stuff. And if people haven't seen it, I recommend look up the Jungle Ultra, and it's run by Beyond the Ultimate. And like you said, you're running through the Amazon. You're going across rivers. You're going up mud hills, and you have to pull yourself up. You're going
yeah,
through
and
everything.
marathon ups.
Mm.
On the last day on the long course, I think it's the last day, they do like a king or queen of the jungle,
Yeah.
to see who can get up this hill quick enough, the fastest. Yeah, there's some ups. It's tricky, and then on the last day, God, you wade down this river, and I think it was about 4 miles. You're wading down this river, um, and that's hard work. And like I
Wait,
say, you're looking, I'm like, oh my God, are the creepy crawlies at my ankles?
so you're going up like up past your hips and just going through the river.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
up past your hips in
Yeah.
parts. It's like you see the old war films,
Mm.
and like they're going down the river with and they're kind of looking like on either side.
Yeah.
It was really like that,
Yeah.
like you've been watched in the middle of this river. Yeah.
I, I think I'd be scared. Amazon's known for the piranhas, aren't they? The flesh-eating
Yeah,
fish.
I don't think there were any for. Oh, well, they told me there weren't any.
Yeah.
You probably just tell me anything, leave
Yeah.
them.
But that's what I get really interested with like wildlife and stuff, and like in the Amazon you've got every animal you could think of, really, haven't you?
Yeah,
Crocodile,
I
what
mean,
was
there's
it?
a lot of
Crocodiles.
yeah, there was a lot of beautiful birds, kind of
Yeah.
monkeys singing. I mean, you'll never, there's no other ultra like it. There
No.
can't be. They can't,
No.
like I say, Chris King really, yeah, he's done a good one there.
Because like you got the Jungle Ultra, which is a run through the Amazon in Peru. The Ice
Yeah.
Ultra, then, which is also run by Beyond the Ultimate, is the north of Sweden. So you're running through like Lapland in minus 40 degrees. And then you got the Desert Ultra, which is a run through the Namib Desert in Namibia. Did I say that right? But
Maybe, yeah.
they've all got their own challenges, haven't they? Like the desert, the heat, well, 50 degrees, isn't it? You're just running through 50 degrees through sand dunes. Like the Ice Ultra is polar opposite to that, isn't it? Minus 40. But like the Jungle Ultra is the wildlife, the humidity you're going through, the rain.
Humidity,
Yeah,
yeah, that was hard.
I bet.
Not really hot, yeah. Um, but I think they're doing a Highland Ultra as well now up here, so I think that one will be popular for them.
You going to do that one?
No.
No? You're on the doorstep.
No, can't. I couldn't justify the money to,
Mm.
pay for something that I can do for free.
Yeah.
Helping,
Just run the track, but don't pay, innit?
Yeah, I am very spoiled where I live.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, it's
But BTU, honestly, I can't sing their praises enough. Brilliant.
brilliant thing. And
Yeah.
would you like to give the Ice Ultra a crack or the Desert one, or don't tickle your fancy? Maybe, but don't know.
Yeah, I've got something that I'm training for at the minute.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. We'll
Keep it under wraps, or is it?
yeah. Oh, I just can't can't tell anyone. I can't take the pressure. It's just, yeah,
No, hey, sometimes that's the best. Keep your ideas to yourself and then just release it to the world when it's time, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I also want to mention as well, you were actually the first lady to finish as well, weren't you?
I was, yeah. 2019 was a very good year for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Like, you were the first lady and you were 8th overall. Is that right?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That was fluke. I'm sure it was pure fluke.
I don't think it was
Honestly,
fluke.
really, it really was. It
How,
really was.
how many people run it?
Do you know what? I can't remember now. I think there must have been about 40 odd people. I
Hmm.
don't, most people finished because they want everyone to finish. You know, it's a big deal, isn't it? They don't want
Yeah.
people to fall out. I think the thing is you need to look after your feet. I think if anything's going to knock you out, it will be your feet, not looking after them because it's so wet, you know, getting them dry and things. And yeah, as long as you look after feet, you'll be fine.
Any tips how to look after your feet and the Amazon?
Talc and
Talc.
gurney goo, a lot of gurney goo.
What's gurney goo?
Gurney goo, it comes in like a little tube.
Right.
Keeps kind of your feet a bit drier. I use it on quite a few of the like soggy ultras and things.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit like Vaseline but nicer.
What's
Gurney
it?
goo.
Dry your feet out, is it, or what?
You put it on. I put it on at the start of the day.
Yeah.
The gurney goo. Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Like I say, I've heard the talc, but not gurney goo.
Gurney goo.
What? So, what time in the mornings and stuff? What time you up and at like hit it running?
They got us up early. On the last day, they got us up at ridiculous o'clock. Was it about 3 in the morning or something?
Bloody hell.
Because it's such a long day.
Yeah.
That you know you're going to finish in the dark, start in the dark, finish in the dark. That was the one day I had a bit of a meltdown
What
because
happened?
in the jungle you don't know who's around you. Do you know what I mean? So there
Yeah.
might be a runner just in 2 meters away, and you won't know they're there because it's so dense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the ants. On the last day, just the ants were dribbling me insane. Everything you touch has got ants on it. You touch a tree branch to just kind of balance yourself going down a hill or something. You're covered, crawling in ants. And yeah, the last day I just broken my head torch and it was just getting
Oh.
dark. And I just sat down on this tree and I have never effed and blind so much in my life. Because I thought I was on my own, you see. So I just needed to get rid of that kind of adrenaline-y, you know, I was getting tired. And I'm going, just go and invite somebody else. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I ranted.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I just said, Hilary, are you all right? In this French accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, yeah, I didn't realise anyone was around. So yeah, it's a real of
Up and down.
emotion.
I could
Yeah,
imagine that though. It's even if you
you
run
get
for,
tired, and yeah, I
yeah,
was
of
tired
course.
and hungry. I'd broken the head torch, and I was like, well, what am I going to do now? So you have to buddy up with people to use their light.
Mm.
Yeah,
And like you said, you know, you're in a calorie deficit as well, so you're going to be even more grumpy. You're exhausted. You're hot. You know, you're not getting the sleep you should be getting in the night as well.
yeah, catches up with you.
Yeah, I can imagine it'd be torture.
But I
But
think the camaraderie, you know, everybody looks after everybody,
mm,
so it kind of gets you through.
yeah, right. How do you have like a chip on you? So if you happen to go off track, would they know? Like, is there any chance you would go off track, or is it all pretty well
We
laid
went
out?
off track a couple of times,
Yeah,
but there was a group of us that went off track. down one of the rivers. We think maybe one, because they'll put out red tags, so you kind of got an idea where you're going.
Right, yeah.
And a couple of the red tags have been taken down. They reckon some of the locals have pinched them. So we got a little bit lost. And you have like a GPS tracker thing on you that you can call in or send a text message of. But you're told at the start, whatever you do, if you lose it, you're going back to find it. I think they're quite like, they're kind of military grade ones, because mobile phones and things don't work in the jungle.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's there and you don't have the signal, so you look after your tracker.
Yeah.
So yeah, they know where you are all the time.
So it's just
I think with people around, locals around, keeping their eye on you.
And that's just clipped on like on the front of you, so it's safe.
It's in your backpack.
Oh, on your backpack, all right, yeah.
Yeah, everything's in your backpack, so you don't want to lose your backpack down the river.
No, don't want to lose your backpack, all your food and your hammock. You know, because like you say, you're in the Amazon, like you could easily get lost in here. I was wondering if, you know, how do you know where you're going? But if you just follow the red tags.
Yeah.
I
And
thought
like the machete kind of route, so it's when you're on like the old, I don't know if they're old, you know, I don't know what sort of tracks they are, but when you're on those, it's so easy to miss a turning if you're not concentrating.
Yeah, right. No, it's easy done like that, but no. So obviously the last day you said is the biggest one. I think when I read up, it's pretty much 2 marathons you do in the last day. It's about 80 kilometers. I don't know if that was the same for you, but like when you're crossing that finishing line, what's going through your head? Is it like relief, or you want to go more?
Well, honestly, you get mobbed by all these kids.
Do you?
And they just grab your backpack and they're taking everything out of your backpack, these little kids. So you're like, no, give me that back.
Yeah.
You get robbed at the end.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, you just try and hold on to your stuff.
Yeah. What are they trying to get? Food or something?
Oh, they just want your head torches, whatever they can get. Yeah. They're not nasty. It's not nasty or anything like that. It's just like, oh, you know, we'll have that.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be like that if someone came by me, especially after doing that. I'd be so tired and exhausted. Like, get off.
Oh no, it's funny. It's funny.
Oh, it's
yeah,
funny,
they're
is it?
cheeky. They're cheeky little kids.
Yeah. So obviously,
and
yeah.
I just wanted a wash. What I wanted was a wash.
A wash, a nice shower or bath.
Oh my God. That smelled really bad.
Yeah. Did you like? Did you have like a what? Like, did you go in like the rivers for a swim in the mornings or no? Just go on with it.
Oh God, I think it was the first night. There's a really lovely waterfall.
Oh, right.
With a pool, so you can go and you know, have a dip in there, which was very welcome.
Very refreshing.
But you're not clean.
No.
And all your stuff gets, it's the stench is lovely.
Yeah, right. I say.
So so like with all my gear and everything, because everybody's so paranoid about weight, you know, the weight that they're carrying. And my budget is not like a lot of these people who do these races. I'm not on their budget, so they were like, you know, like you have your group chat before you go.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, what sleeping bag do you recommend, and this, that, and the other, and they're all kind of reeling off very expensive, lightweight sleeping bags, and I'm like, oh my God, I just, you know, I don't have the money for this. So I went and bought like a 15 quid sleeping bag from Blacks, you know, like the rectangular one.
Yeah.
And I've gone round to my mum's and I've got in this sleeping bag on the landing. She's chalking down the sleeping bag and we're cutting bits off it, you know, like the zip off it to make it lightweight, and we've sewn it up. And my 15 quid sleeping bag weighed the same as somebody who just spent £300-400 on a PhD sleeping bag.
Bloody hell.
So, you know, I would never want people to think, because the races are, they're not cheap races.
Mm.
And if you are on a budget, there is always a way to be able to do it.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you don't
definitely.
really need.
Yeah, the price is, if anybody wants to do it, is £2,750. Is that how much you paid?
I think it was a little bit cheaper when I did it.
Ah,
I
right,
think it
yeah.
was 2.5-ish. And it's a lot of money when you take into account that you've got your flights, your accommodation when you get there, kits, so it can be done on,
Yeah.
like I say, on the budget. I stayed in a couple of Airbnbs while I was in Peru, anything just to make it so I could afford to do it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I th like I said about Caroline Underwood, when she did the Marathon de Sable, I think it was like 4.5 grand. So it's a big difference, isn't it? 2 grand,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not sure how much they'd charge for the Desert Ultra. I'm guessing it'd be about the same, wouldn't it?
I think they're all
2,750.
about the same, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's definitely worth the money.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you're so looked after. I don't know if any of the medics, they do it voluntary or, but yeah.
I'd have to finish a marathon
Marathon
first.
is more expensive, though, isn't it?
Well, I missed that. What do you say then?
Sorry?
Which one? What did you say is more expensive?
I think the Desert Ultra is a lot more expensive. I think that's the one to tick off the bucket list, isn't it? The desert.
Ah, yeah. It's more.
That's the one that everybody wants to sit in the pub and say that they've done. And
Yeah. I think doing the Amazon one is like, I think that'd be a cool one to do. Another one I've seen is the Mount Everest Ultra as well. That'd be pretty cool, I think.
yeah, that would be cool.
Have you seen that
Yeah,
one? That tickle your
yeah,
fancy? The Mount Everest Ultra?
yeah.
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 Again, that's
It's
obviously that's
so
all
easy,
uphill,
isn't
isn't
it?
it?
You could get you want to do them all.
I need to finish doing a bloody marathon first. I was enjoying my running for a little bit, and yeah, my bloody knees buggered up. The furthest I've gotten is 30 kilometer, but yeah,
That's still
that's
really
hard enough.
good.
Yeah, like just plain road. Try and look for the flat trails, no hills. But no, doing those type of races, they blow my mind, to be honest. It's
But it's really funny because I would never ever say that I'm a runner
no,
either. I'd never ever say that. Yeah.
because
There's always someone quicker, or
yeah.
there's always someone that's done more. And so yeah, I think
How many ultras have you done apart from
I've done
Jungle
quite a
Ultra?
few ultras now. Yeah, since I
Yeah,
moved up here. I did. So I did the D99 in Aberdeen, which is a 100-mile ultra. As like a thing for the jungle. And I did well in that one. So that, I think that really helped my confidence
yeah.
for the jungle. So yeah. I've
Was
just done
that?
that. I just love all the people that I meet. They're so lovely.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's like a little run community, isn't it?
Yeah. You see the same faces, and
Mm.
I don't know what it's like with other sports and things, but when you're running with somebody, within like 2 minutes, you know the life story. It's like you've been mates for years. But yeah, no, it is a nice little world, the ultra community.
I
Everyone
think.
looks after everybody. I think that when you're on a marathon, you're like head down, let's get it, times. Whereas
Yeah,
on an ultra, it's like, oh, nice, it's all about eating and
yeah.
yeah, a bit more sociable. People
More
have time to
sociable.
chat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not busting for the type. Like, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Because like 100-mile race, you can't just go like the clappers. Do you know what I mean? You've got to
I
do.
do.
Yeah, you've got to pace it out. But no, you're right. Like sometimes I'll go for a run, and I don't know, I'll put music on or a podcast on, and I'll run. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is dragging. But if I run with someone and I'm just going at a nice speed, I'm talking, before you know it, you're just rocking up the miles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just taking them off.
Yeah,
It makes it easier and more enjoyable.
more
I think I
enjoyable.
feel more pressure to do a 10K than I do to go and do an ultra, because you're like, oh, I've got to go
Yeah,
quick. Don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
speed.
Do,
Um,
do people, like, say you did a 10K now or a marathon, because you've done so much, like, big runs, do they expect you to be like smashing times and everything, do they?
uh, do you know what? Because the jungle was really the last one I did before. So I did the D99 and then the jungle. And then that was kind of it because COVID came in.
Yeah. Mm.
So I'd got 2 races booked for last year that I was training for, and they all got, like everybody else's, they all got deferred, and yeah, so I haven't really had that kind of pressure off anybody.
No, that's all right then. Well, fingers crossed now. I hope we broke the back of this COVID and everything gets back to normal and, more events for everything, isn't it? All sports, not just
Yeah,
running,
everything's
but
coming
all
back to life
sports.
now, though, isn't it? It's really nice.
Yeah, so no, I'm looking forward to see what holds for you, Hillary. And when you reveal your next big thing you're gonna do, you can jump back on and we can talk about it.
Yeah,
Can you say when roughly? Do you know when it is?
it is next February.
Next year, next year. All right, right, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
there we are. We'll
I'm 10 months in training. So, yeah.
maybe you can message me what you're doing, and I'll look into it and have you on next year. If that's all
You
right.
already know.
Hey, I'm trying to get the audience gripped here. No, I do know what it is, and it's it'll be a good one, very good one.
Yeah.
I bet you
I
after the
hope
podcast
so.
now, people will be messaging me, "What's Hillary running? What's Hillary running?" But yeah, it's good, and yeah, good luck with that, and definitely we'll have you back on. But yeah, before I let you go, Hillary, do you want to give anyone a shout out, or where people can find and follow you on Instagram and stuff?
Oh God, I'm boring on Instagram. I just want to say a massive thank you to the BTU team, really, and my physio, because they've just all been so kind and generous and shared their knowledge and, you know, just been, just got me there. I wouldn't have done it if it hadn't been for them. So yeah, I really appreciate.
Awesome. Same physio for the next run?
Yes,
Yes. Awesome. And I think your Instagram is, I did write it down, at Hillary A.C.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so if you want to follow Hillary on there and can see some of her photos of her run, go ahead and do that, guys. Also, as well, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, the CD Sport Podcast. You can also find and follow me as well on Instagram, the CD Sport Podcast. Spread the word, spread the love. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Hillary Clinton, everybody. Eeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeee